All right, welcome to the Business Rogue Podcast. I'm Michael Wita, Corporation Specialist.
And I'm Jeff Kimura, your digital advertising specialist.
And today we want to talk about buying back your time through delegation, using different types of technology, using VAs, virtual assistants, when it makes sense, when it doesn't, some of the challenges with it. But I think, one thing that you and I have struggled with and a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with is, letting go of control.
Yep, that's a big one. I hate letting go of control.
Yes. No, and it's funny because I keep finding myself, no one can do it as good as me and it has to be perfect. And it's funny because there's a lot of stuff where if it's 70% as good or 80% as good, it still gets the job done.
Yep.
And letting go of the reins is really what it takes. And that's really hard to do. But the more you do it, there's certain tasks that you can give up that you realize, oh my God, that was so easy and so worth it that you start becoming, or I started becoming accustomed to letting go of the reins. What are some ways that you've dealt with that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, and this is something that my business coach helps me with. Yeah, she tells me 80% done is better than like just trying to perfect something all the time.
Yes.
Like done is better than perfect.
Yes. That's right.
And I have the personality of everything needs to be perfect, everything needs to be in its place, everything needs to be organized, especially when I'm running an ad account. But at the end of the day, if I'm doing that, it's taking away time from doing the stuff that are actually high leverage or
Yes.
or doing the things that they actually pay me to do, which is actually figure out how to move their business forward.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's hard to give up control, especially when I know that an ad account will do much better if it's well maintained like that. But yeah, still struggle with it. I guess. Long story short, I still struggle with it.
Yeah, well, you mentioned the high dollar things, it's like why are you gonna sit there and do your own books once you come to a certain point? It's like that time would be better spent creating packages or reimagining your marketing or doing something like that, as opposed to in there doing grunt work that, anyone can do for a somewhat cheap price, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and that's how I started thinking about it too. Is like, is this task? What would I pay someone? Like, what's the average rate to pay someone to do this?
Mhm.
And if it's low or not, basically a low hourly rate, I'm basically doing myself a disservice when I do
Mhm.
that. So it's kind of how I see it. It's I'm wasting my own time and resources.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and you're slowing your business down essentially, losing momentum working on those small tasks. So for me, um, I want to talk about the difference between a CRM and a CMS. So customer relationship management is where they're staying in touch with the customer and things like that. But a CMS, a customer management system, that was a game changer for me because what I would do is I did the old way. If I formed a corporation for somebody, I would email them a paper contract and a questionnaire that they had to print out and sign, and then either scan it and email it back or mail it back to me. It was super old school. And all that took time. And then I took advantage of a CMS, a customer management system, where I send them a link. They type in their information and it automatically sends them the agreement. It sends them the invoice. It sends them the questionnaire of everything I need to get started. And it does automatic follow up.
Mm.
So if it sends them the agreement and they haven't signed it, it'll remind them every 2 days, hey, don't forget to sign your agreement. Don't forget to sign your agreement. And I don't have to go in there and say, and follow up with these people. And that, oh my God, it changed my business overnight. Sometimes I would forget that I was waiting on a contract or something. And then the person wouldn't follow through and pay, and I would lose customers, or they would get busy and say, oh, yeah, I'll get around to it. And then they wouldn't end up moving forward. This makes them move forward, and I don't have to think about it. I just have to make sure they have access to the link. So it's one and done, and
Mm.
I can get it done. It'll tell me when their paperwork's in, and that tells me I can get started on forming the corporation. It's the same with business credit. It's the same with all my services, and it's really great.
What prevented you from getting that set up in the first place, and what was the trigger to get you actually to set that up?
Because I was so used. So one, I was stuck in my ways. I was so used to just sending out the contract, and I'm like, this isn't hard, right? And it wasn't until I saw how easy it was, right? And the hardest thing is choosing a platform. So I was weighing platforms, I was watching YouTube videos, and I kind of got in analysis paralysis. And I finally said, look, I'm just going to choose one. All the reviews are good with these two. I narrowed it down to two, and I'm like, I'm just going to go with this one. And it worked really well. It might be that there's a better one out there, but it at least got it going. And then I hired a girl on Upwork to design the workflows for me because I went in there and played with it a little bit, and it takes hours and hours and hours. And I just wanted to kind of know if I was being taken advantage of with, someone who was coming on to help me. But this girl, $30 an hour, I'll say, hey, set up a workflow for this discounted package or change the workflow to do this. And she gets it done in probably an hour, hour and a half, and it would probably take me 4 to 5 hours to do it. So not only is it you're saving on that hourly rate, but you're getting it done in less time because you're hiring an expert that knows it inside and out.
And would you say that she probably set it up better than you could have?
Yes, absolutely. And she makes mistakes. I mean, that's the thing. And I just tell her and then she fixes it. It's great.
Mhm.
But I want to first off, what's your experience with that? And then I want to parlay into virtual assistants. But what's your experience with like letting go? What's an example of something you let go and what did you use?
The reason why I had a hard time letting go is because I didn't want to spend money on it.
Yeah.
And the reason why I didn't want to spend money on it is because I didn't know my score.
Yes.
So like now that we've been talking about doing your books, doing your P&Ls and knowing what your score is, then I go, okay, cool. I have this much money to get these different tasks done.
Mhm.
So then now I could actually allocate my resources. Before I was just hoarding it and saving it because I was like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to lose all my money
Mhm.
if I'm not smart about it and save. So I would say the first thing was knowing how much I could spend.
Mhm.
And then now it's like, all right, I have this tool called Go High Level, uh, where we put together landing pages. It's funny, like when I first started out in entrepreneurship, I was like, all right, let me build my website, let me build my landing pages, let me sit here, make it look perfect. But then I realized, like, oh man, I'm spending like 10, 15 hours just making sure the
Mhm.
padding on the website is correct, like the sizing. And I'm like,
10 or 15 hours.
this is not a good use of my time, and it definitely sent me back. It may have sent me back like a year, to be quite frank.
A year.
Well, but now, yeah, now I have some contacts, been doing that BNI, meeting a lot of people. So I have someone who helps me build landing pages now. So that's something I'm outsourcing, building out a landing page and gonna start
How much was that? Was that $600 for a good
um,
landing page?
I guess it really depends. The person I'm paying is 800,
Okay.
and he's giving me a discount because I give him a lot of referrals.
Oh, okay.
So he's a
And how
little
are do they look good?
I'm waiting on this first one,
Okay.
and then we'll see how it comes out. I mean, he's built websites for my other clients, and they looked really good, really premium. So that's what I'm thinking that his quality is going to be. But
Mhm.
there are cheaper versions. Like there, I mean, I think you could find someone for 3, 4, $500, like on Upwork or
Mm.
Fiverr or something like that. Just look for a Go High Level expert, and they can put it together.
Good, and Go High Level is something you offer as part of your suite of services, right?
Mhm.
Talk a little bit about what that does for your clients.
Oh yeah, so Go High Level, it's marketing on steroids. It gives you everything you need to be able to do marketing well. So you have all the tech. The only hard part is one, figuring out the strategy, and two, having someone to actually put it together because it's a little complicated.
Mhm.
But once you figure all those pieces out, you have your website, you have your landing pages, you have your CRM manager, you have your pipeline manager, you have your email marketing. Like you literally have everything. You have your automation. So, um, you have everything you need to be successful, and then it's just a matter of putting it together.
Okay, well, good. Yeah, now I wanna talk about VAs a little bit because VAs are great for handling certain tasks, and there's different levels of VAs. There's some that can handle some really high level stuff. They can write email in a professional tone, and there's some where they can design PowerPoints, or there's all these different tasks they can do. But one challenge I've had is you have to be explicitly clear in your instructions.
Mhm.
You basically have to map it out because getting them to they'll go off the ranch or not, if you leave something vague, they'll do something for several hours that actually doesn't fit the purpose of what you're trying to get.
Mhm.
I had one where I wanted them to research podcasts to interview me for my new book. And I said, here's a list of the ones that I already have. Don't, so that you know what I've already got. So don't give me these. And she totally ignored that and just basically repeated everyone on the list with a few new ones. And
Yeah.
I had to go back and say, even though I explicitly said, here's the list, add on to it. And she
Mhm.
had the list right in front of her and she added probably about 75% of the ones that were already there. So, and then that may happen where you just give them renewed instructions. And then, in that case, she paid attention and did some more. But there's some where maybe you just want to cut the ties. Like if you're constantly having to do that,
Mhm.
it's okay to try and find another one. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you've used a VA, yeah? Or
Yeah, and my experience there too is fire fast,
Mhm.
because honestly, like there are overseas people that are going to try to game you and try to figure out how do I get the most hours out of this job.
Mhm.
Like for example, like I'm working on one from Brazil to help me do some of the more of the grunt work in these ad accounts. And I'll ask him to do something and have a pretty clear SOP laid out, like standard operating procedure, like do this, and this. And he would purposely get things wrong. or mess things up and be like, "Hey, it's broken. Oh, it's not working." So then he
So he
just
had to fix it.
so yeah, he had to fix it, or it takes more time to actually do the project, and I had to explain it to him. So at the end of the day, that guy ended up costing me more money because I had to go back, I mean, make my instructions even more clear at that point. And then he's just constantly be like, "Oh, well, I did this filter and I don't see it." And I was like, "Well, you purposely filtered it wrong. Like, I know what you're doing."
You said that to him?
Yeah, no, I didn't say that to him specifically because I don't want to like
Yeah.
piss him off. But I was like, "Oh no, you filtered it wrong. You gotta look at this." Um, so like he wasted a day,
Oh,
just because he didn't get that right. And I was like, "Yo, like, what's going on?" And he's just like, "Oh, it doesn't work. It's broken." And I was like, why didn't you reach out to me?" So, I mean, some will game you, and I think you get rid of those quick. I think
so fire quickly. You're saying fire quickly if they find they're not. Now, do you give them 2 chances, 3 chances? What do you do?
I guess, yeah, I mean, 3 strikes you're out seems like a pretty good cadence.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of them will try to game you. So I think is if you find a good one, hold on to them.
What positive experiences have you had with a VA?
Oh, so the best experiences is like one, they're figuring things out for you
Yeah.
at a certain point. Like they figure out your workflow and they figure out the things that are important to you and the things that you look at, and then they go, okay, cool. Like if I do it this way, we'll actually save time.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot better. Oh, and then the other positive experience is that you give them a task, you go to sleep, you wake up, and it's done.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the best feeling in the world. I'm like, okay, I don't need to change anything. This is perfect. Let's go. But yeah, it was great. I don't know. What about you?
I had one, that was great for designing a PowerPoint. I had a client that needed to create a pitch deck for her business, and I feel like I'm getting pretty good at PowerPoint, right?
Mhm.
And you've seen some of the presentations, and it just takes me so long to get it just the way I want it, and so I just handed it to someone on Upwork. It was like $15 an hour, and it came back within a day, and it's something that would have taken me a week to create,
Mhm.
and it was really cool. Just, I created the copy and said, "Here, create a slide for this, and this." And she did a good job, and there's a couple things I wanted to tweak, like, "Hey, this picture doesn't really go with the theme. Can you find one that's more cartoony that fits the other ones?" And, "Yeah, no problem." Boom, and it's done.
Mhm.
Or, "This one doesn't fit the brand, let's change the colors here." No problem, and it's done quickly. Like you said, you go to bed, you wake up, and it's done.
Right.
And I handed this thing off to the client. She was so happy, and she didn't know that I had handed it off to someone. I mean, it wasn't a secret, but she was just happy it was done. She wouldn't
Mhm.
care,
Mhm.
but it was great. Like, it took me, that would have taken me at least a week. It saved me 6 or 7 days on that one project.
Yeah.
So it works pretty well. And then when you find someone, there might be some PowerPoint people where their design skills aren't as good or they don't match your style. Go to the next one. And I finally found one. I did it. I said, here's 3 slides, and I sent it to 3 different people, and I chose one based on those 3 slides.
Mm.
And she's very easy to work with. And so when you find, the challenge is finding someone that's good. You said hire fast. I don't want to dissuade anyone from hiring a VA because it's great for time. It's just finding that correct one that you're in lockstep with,
Mhm.
right? And it's really important to remove yourself from working in the business so that you can work on your business. And that's where the real money comes in by doing that. So it's okay to sacrifice and pay for these software services or these virtual assistants to get stuff done for you.
Yeah, and I guess 2 things from that too. That's smart that you give them a test, and the test is actually part of the project. So then they're making
Yes.
progress towards it.
Yeah.
So that's something that I'm gonna think about doing.
Yeah, because you're burning fewer dollars rather than saying, "Here, design this whole PowerPoint," and it sucks,
Mhm.
and you have to say, "No, redo this," and you're running up all these hours. So doing a testing is always good.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And then 2, what did you do with those 6 to 7 days?
Huh. I moved on to my other big task list of stuff that I probably should have also handed off to somebody else.
But did that turn into more money?
It did, yeah, and it made my client more impressed, like, "Wow, you did all this already," and she was impressed with the messaging and everything. Like, it was great to just, put that together and hand it off, and she was super excited.
Okay. How's that client going, by the way?
Good, you know what I mean? Like, she's pushing ahead, she's dealing with a lot of challenges, but, it's an exciting project, and I think, she's gonna do well.
Okay. Don't know how much I could share there, but it sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think we'll leave that one off for now.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. That's all you get.
Yeah,
Little
yeah,
teaser,
that's
little
right.
taste.
But it could be a very big project, and there's no patent or anything on it, and so I don't wanna share much yet.
Yeah. You tell I'm just tiptoeing around it. Like,
Yeah.
what do you want to talk about this?
Yeah. All I can tell you is it's a SaaS. It's a software as a service, but it's a really cool one, super unique.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of high profile people too.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
all right. Well, yeah, VAs are good. AI is great too, by the way.
Oh god, yeah, let's talk about AI for a minute. Let's bookend it with AI.
Mhm.
Um, AI is great for I was putting off creating a drip campaign, an email drip campaign, and I said, "Look, here, throw it into ChatGPT or use Claude." It spit back virtually perfect. And AI, here's the thing, be careful with AI, it's not always accurate, so you don't wanna just take it at face value, you wanna make sure and, research what it comes back with. But most of the time, it comes back with something good or at least a template that you can tweak. Even if it's
Mhm.
not quite right, it'll give me something even if it's only 60% good of what I want,
Mhm.
that's 60% that I didn't have to create from scratch.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes it's 95% of what I want, and I'm just changing a few words or shortening it or lengthening it, and
Mhm.
I mean, that's huge. You can use it to build out processes, you can build it to like, "Hey, how should I market this?"
Yep.
I mean, what are some ways you've used it?
Oh yeah. So the key with AI is prompting because
Yes.
it's like figuring out.
Like VAs, it's like making it
Yeah.
clear for VAs, you have to make it clear for AI. Get some examples about that.
Yeah. I mean, do I like AI better than VAs now?
Right?
But AI is pretty insane. But yeah, I mean, so like I was putting together a drip campaign flow for this new campaign I'm going to run for electricians, and essentially I was just like, all right, you are a combination of Russell Brunson, Alex Ramosi, and um, Dan Kennedy. Those are like the top like marketers right now.
Mhm.
And I said, all right, cool. I want you to scour the internet and get all the information so you could actually be like them and be like an advisor to me. And with that, I'm looking to create a 5 email nurture flow after they download my lead magnet. And this is kind of like what I want to put together and talk about.
Mhm.
And these are the different 5 emails that this is how I want it structured. And I just sent it in. It spit out 5 perfect emails as if like Russell Brunson wrote it himself.
And you didn't need to change any of it.
Like this one was really good because yeah, I didn't have to change it. And then also Russell Brunson, he really likes the PS like at the end because he's like, that's your second headline. But I forgot about that. So I looked at it, I was like, all right, this is cool. And then it asked me, but do you want me to add the PS second headline in there? I was like, hell
Yes.
yeah, I do.
Great.
So they added it in and it kind of teed up.
And that's something you wouldn't have had in there because you would have
I
forgotten.
would have forgotten, yeah.
Oh,
So I was like, this prompt is pretty legit. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited about these 5 email flows. I mean, we'll see like once we start running ads, getting the lead magnets, getting leads in, how they perform. But I feel like they're more well written than anything I've written.
good,
So
good. Now, when you told it to scour the internet to look for their style, doesn't it do that automatically, or do you have to literally tell it? Does that make it better?
I found when I write that it makes it better.
Okay, good.
And then also they have a new feature on there where you can put like deep research.
Mhm,
So then they research the internet even more, I'm assuming.
mhm.
So I turned that on too.
Okay,
And then yeah, Claude is a very good business advisor to me right now. I'll say that.
that's good. Okay. Like, so you'll say, "Hey, I'm having this issue with my business. How would you solve it?" And it
Yeah.
spits back. Okay.
Yeah, and it's great too because Hormozy and, Russell Brunson, they have a lot of content online, so it has a lot of stuff to learn from, is what
Mhm,
I'm thinking.
mhm.
And then it'll just start responding and be like, "Well, if you want the response that they would give, this is what it would say, or
Okay.
this is what they would say," and I'm like, "Okay, cool, that makes a lot of sense." Like, for me, I was having trouble figuring out a niche. I was like, "Do I go after this niche or that niche, or this one seems like it'd be really good?" But it helped me narrow in and be like, or yeah, it helped me narrow in and it just asked me like, you shouldn't be going after niches that you think will be profitable. You should be going after niches you already serve well. So, like, whoever you already had success with. And I go, okay, well, like, there's SaaS, there's e-com, and there's some like home services type businesses that we've seen success with. And they're like, okay, well, that should be your niche then. Like, you should be going after all these different things. And I was like, that's interesting because
Narrowing it down. Yeah.
that was a gap in my thinking because I was like, I need to go after something that makes me a lot of money.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's like, no, go after what you're good at already.
Huh, okay. Yeah. Alright. That's good. Can AI help you build customer lists too?
I'm looking into that. So those are called AI agents.
Okay.
I don't know too much about it right now, but I've seen people create AI agents, vibe code, whatever you want to call it, to where they you could actually scrape LinkedIn and whatever other sources to get those lead enriched data.
Oh, that's great.
So there's a way to do it.
That's good. Well, good. This is, don't forget, don't hold on to too much control. Don't have your claws into your business. Let go of things. It's okay to give it to someone who is going to screw it up at first.
Yeah.
It's okay to have it be at 70 or 80%. It doesn't always have to be perfect. And get out of your business so that you can work on your business. That's really the whole
Yeah.
thought for today.
And one thing that my business coach told me too that stuck out is that automation or delegation is exponential.
Hmm.
So you can get rid of you offload one thing and then you offload another, and it just keeps building upon itself until all of a sudden you have this big system that's just supporting you.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's where you want to be. You want to end up actually being a CEO, not a technician.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I feel like I'm a technician right now.
Yes,
So
we're all guilty of that. I am
yeah.
as well. Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Let me know what else you guys want to talk about, and we'll go from
That's
there.
right. We'll take your suggestions and cover some bases on that.
All right. Well, thank you for having us, and we'll see you next time.